Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm sure you can see the illustrious crew here, and there may be somebody missing. Hi and welcome. We're Saves vs. Death. We're an actual play podcast and actual play on Twitch and YouTube. Well, pretty much everywhere we're the same thing. But we are live here every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern and 5:30 Pacific. And I have no clue what time at Greenwich mean. I figured it out at one point, but I don't remember it. But anyway, as you can see, Blank, our normal GM, is not quite here yet. He will be joining us in a little bit. He's got some other obligations to attend to. But in the meantime, you get the rest of us. We've got Jess playing the surly reporter Moxie 11 with her red fist of truth. We've got... That. Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
We have Hades, who is playing Cass, the solo with the heart of gold. And a complicated love life because we met one of his exes and she's a real jerk. And then
that's gonna be a problem.
Me, Gabe Zen. I'm Wraith, and I'm the incredibly annoying rocker boy. So there's that. Oh my god, my camera. All right, I'm back. If you're new here, we're actually going to spend some time, I almost said this morning, at the beginning of the stream, talking about how we got to where we are now, the whole story. But you can always do ! What is it? Plot? Yes. And that'll tell you what happened last week, just in case you are a week behind. Also, Jess does some great recap episodes that can be found on our YouTube channel, so check those out. She does them as Moxie and has a lot to say about all of us.
You know what? Only when she gets frustrated. Only when she gets frustrated.
I'll give you that. Also, we have something exciting coming up in a couple of weeks, but I'll have Hades tell you about that.
Yeah, so in a couple weeks, we'll... Blink has an obligation. He will not be with us, and I will be guest GMing one shot in 5th edition D&D, and they don't know this yet, but it will be interesting.
Now I'm worried about it.
You shouldn't be. But we have a cool way to connect with the community. Yes. If we hit 75 followers by next stream, I would say, we'll let you guys choose the races. 85, the community will choose the class. And if we get 100, I will give them a special prize.
Is it a good prize or a bad prize?
Well, good for Moxie, probably bad for Ray.
That seems fair.
Oh, guys, please let me get to 100, please.
We're only 2 away from the 75, which means we're only 12 away from the 85, which means we're only a number 12 plus 15, 27. Which would be 27 away from that 100. So if you know anybody who you think would like us, tell them to come check us out. We could always appreciate it. And yeah. So as you know, it is Pride Month. And because of that, the charity that we are recommending everybody support this month is Tabletop Gamers Inc. It's a nonprofit organization whose mission is to promote diversity, equality, and inclusion by championing the visibility and recognition of LGBTQIA plus community through tabletop gaming. You can find them over at http://tabletopgamers.org, and gamers is GAYMERS. You go check them out. They're a great cause. They're going to be at Gen Con this year and PAX Unplugged and a few other places. So they're, really doing a good job of getting equal representation and visibility out there in the community. So if you can support them, please do. We just finished our mental health awareness, and Saves vs. Death was able to donate our portion of that, which was only like $60 or something like that, but it was, we matched the portion that we were able to donate, so we appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we hope that it helps them out. And yeah, Moxie, Jess, I suppose, would you like to talk about the other ways that they can help us out personally?
Yeah, so if you would, if you have some extra cash lying around in your couch or something, I never find any in mine, but there's always that hope. Maybe you have some in yours.
Got all this extra cash.
Ooh, look, a 20 slipped down here. Perfect. You can donate to us. We do have a Patreon site, or Patreon page, account thing, stuff. With different tiers, but you can get some really cool merch. There's stickers and mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, and there's a couple of like goodies that are on there, special episodes that you can't find on our YouTube. And Moxie's her initial report on Shady Acres, which Indy Tim, who stops in the show, did comment, like viewer comments, as though people were actually
that's cool.
responding. It's amazing. It's hysterical. I loved it. So
Nice,
you can check that
nice.
out as well. Or if you don't have couch pixies that just randomly give you money, but you do have an Amazon Prime account, you do get a free Twitch subscription every month. And if you have not used yours, you could consider donating it to us here.
Yep, it doesn't cost you anything. Helps us out. So
exactly.
We appreciate it. On that note.
Yeah. We also, I want to thank followers, because our followers and our subscribers mean the world to us. So thank you so much for clicking that little button, coming, hanging out, and supporting us where you can. So we'd like to welcome John the Wise and Absorbent Panda. Freaking love that name. So
right.
much.
I'm glad that the panda's absorbent, just in case.
Just. Also, our new subscriber is Baticus Row. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And yeah.
All right, so that brings us on to the last time on, for the people who are caught up, except for what happened in the last episode, and so that you'll be ready for this one. So Hades, would you like to give that report?
Yeah. So Cass suggests we all try to get some rest, as we've had a rough day. Everybody's really tired. So let's, start out fresh. And we finally got a lead on Kenner's sister. So we try to calm Kenner down and get him to go rest. So of course we send Wraith to watch him. Yeah.
I don't know if we sent him as much as it was short straw in his defense.
To be fair, I mean,
yeah.
Moxie did go to the safe house from Rex, so
she did.
Yeah. So that, and then Cass stayed with, of course.
Did you forget your girlfriend Cammy's name?
Kind of.
I am telling her.
You can't. We are not in character yet.
Oh, you just wait.
I will say though, I like that Cass's reason was like because he cared about his wounded girlfriend, where Moxie was just like, no, I need a night away from the kids. Like it was hers, so purely selfish.
Right.
But yeah, so and everybody got some speed heal. So that helped everybody get back on their feet faster too, so we could get some of this work done. We ended up talking to Pons, and he made a deal with us to help take care of the issue and with his son. And we ended up going to do some legwork and on both finding out where this nightclub is that we discovered last time. And find out it was a goth thing, so we all got clothes for that.
I got the best outfit ever.
Yes, definitely.
Can you please remind everyone of Wraith's outfit?
I had like a florally shirt that was button up, but only like half button up, which is super sweet. And then I've got a track vest that I've got like zipped up partially, so it looks like I have a blazer on. And then black track pants and some sweet kicks.
So your shirt only goes halfway up and your jacket only goes halfway up.
Yeah. So I need them both to be in position so that it looks professional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, professional. That is what Gojira is.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Team professional. We have a 5-star rating.
After taking care of the clothes and getting that going, we decide to go meet with the Dynaife contact and see if we can trade either the contacts in that phone or figure out something else to do. And, well, that went about as expected, and now we're supposed to take out the Tiger Claw Lieutenant, Blue. But while Cass and Wraith are working on that, the Eyes shows up and has a conversation with Moxie. And the Eyes doesn't want us to hurt Blue, as it's important to him. And now we have to kill the Dynaife Lieutenant instead. At least Moxie does at this point. We don't know what's going on yet. So what a cliffhanger.
Right? He left us there and then decided to be late. No, he's not late. He's just got something important going on.
So now that we control the stream, we'll just say.
When he comes back, he'll set it straight and then we'll be in trouble.
No, we did the thing. It went fine.
Right.
If we asked Wraith, he would say that everything's going according to plan.
Yeah, it's all just part of the bigger picture.
Bigger picture.
Yeah. Oh no. Blank is still monitoring us from afar, and he says that he will in fact kill all of our characters.
I like that the Automod was like, do you want to allow this message to go through?
I'll allow it this time.
It did censor you. It was great. Even the Autobot says you're not allowed to kill us.
Yeah, it's on our side. And Zelbin is right. We should give ourselves IP. I don't remember being given IP last week, so I think everybody should get about 300 IP.
Ooh.
I feel like
that makes sense. We had a lot going on, so.
Aw,
Teddy,
thank
2
you,
months.
Teddy.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
So sweet.
We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so what our structure is going to be for this beginning part until we are joined by our feared god. We're going to screw around a little bit. We figured we'd do some questions, answers if you guys had any questions for us. We would talk about how we got to where we're at for anybody who may be newer that's joining us. And then maybe go into further details about some other stuff, like asking would you rathers for our characters. So,
Ooh. I would like to say during the meeting with Dynaife, Grease Lightning was playing in my head like the entire time.
Rightfully so. Teddy, are you watching the Oilers game? If so, keep me posted. I mean, you can see where everybody is.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Fair enough.
Me too. Yes, that is awesome.
All right, so I'm going to open it up a little bit. Does anybody have any questions? I know that Jess, you had a couple prepared. I've got a couple prepared too. They're not as well thought out as yours,
No,
I'm sure.
I really didn't. Do you guys think that the Eyes wants like Mr. Blue saved because there's the color connection? Like, is this
Because they're the same color as the eyes?
Yeah.
I
Is
can
that
see
how
it.
they subtly like keep their gang and alliances?
Is this going to go like Clue?
We're both
where
burned.
everybody's kind of a color?
It was
And then we
Mr.
have
Blue
to. Exactly.
in the car with the monkey wrench.
Well, and I feel like our group needs to have our own color, and it's got to be something that's not well established, like mauve or something. So,
Mauve.
yeah.
I like it.
Start flying the mauve colors.
See, I'm all down for that, and at the same time, I'm like, should be like I don't know, some darker color to absorb the blood.
All right, so out of character though, I do have to ask, what do you think? Like, do you think his angle is that he's corporate, or is he like a gang leader?
The Eyes?
Yeah, I'm somewhere between the two.
He's a corporate gang leader.
So a politician.
That's what I pretty much. Without actually, I don't think he's public enough, or I think Moxie would have found him in her search. Like he's too quiet to be public, but I do think he's like a corporate puppeteer in the back maneuvering pieces into getting whatever he wants and control of the gangs to do that. Because I'm going back through my notes, and whenever Style and Jade, I love that I have this hate for this NPC just for doing her job. She's just a successful character, so there's just this animosity. But she keeps like pushing like it's because of gang violence, and the mayor, I think they called out the mayor, and they called out somebody else too.
Yeah.
And so
I don't remember.
It's
I'll have to go through edits.
But yeah, so it's one of those things. I think it was recently they mentioned in the recent newscast was like a politician wasn't doing enough.
Yeah.
So they've got control of the media to spin the story. They want to potentially get these people out of control so someone else can go in. And I would not be surprised if the Eyes was like one of those kind of puppeteers in the corporate world with all the connections to get what he wants.
Well, yeah, if
hence,
you can get
corporate gangster.
If you can get rid of the gangs, you can move in with the corps.
Right. The biggest gang of them all.
Yep.
Or you move certain gangs in certain ways to get who you want in.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sorry.
That's a quick game.
So, we need a new bar, yeah?
Yeah. Well,
are we going to be loyal to Frank's when it reopens?
I feel like we should be. I feel like we should move away from Frank's.
But we're dumb enough to be loyal.
I'll give you that.
Well, that's the thing, but we can be loyal to the bar and not loyal to Rex's Motel Cube, because Moxie would like her own place that is not a tiny square.
For sure.
No, that makes sense.
So I think if we can get a place away from Frank's, we can still use Frank's.
Well, plus Pons is right there. I mean, we're going to be by there. I mean,
it makes sense. Well,
it makes sense.
I like Frank, so I'd like it to be our watering hole, like where we go to hang out, but not where we do business. So that none of this ever happens again.
That's a great idea. Plus, I mean, you could even do concerts there. They do have a stage.
It's true.
We haven't done that yet.
That's true. You know what? That would bring some nice publicity to Frank's, as if Frank did a show.
Oh, you should do a show for rebuilding.
Right? That works
like a memorial show. Nothing ever goes wrong.
You should do a Hal memorial show.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if the person doing his tribute was the one person he'd like probably disliked the most?
That is so rape, though.
It is.
Oh my God, yes. Remembrance to the Hal story.
No.
Frenemies for life.
We were not dating.
he
That's
yeah, no, I agree. I think though, business wise, we should probably find a seedier bar.
Yeah.
Or we should just go to like their places. That seems to work out. I mean, to be fair, the only reason they found us is because that's where we lived and the car was being parked there without the car being changed, because some people had to buy cybernetics before fixing the car.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was reinvesting.
We were investing for the future.
Right.
Just not the right future.
Plus, I've got the sweet grappling hook, so...
Yeah, we did get that.
I didn't even have to buy that. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that this bar called Dante shows up somewhere. That's all I'm saying. And that's all I will say about it.
Right.
And that's out of character.
Right. Yeah, because I've like most of the things going on right now, like I've got questions, but they're not like in-game questions that are like, so your character, blah, 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 blah. It's just like,
what's your question?
No, like I feel like I was crushed with your conversation you had with Cammy. Like when that happened, it was just so heavy for me. Like, how did you get through that?
Which conversation? The conversation where Moxie found out, or the conversation The after the
Both.
fact. Okay.
Because both were
Um,
such huge moments that were like, it's like private things that you should not be part of, but you are definitely part of.
I've never been so happy to like have a conversation or empathy score roll work in Moxie's favor. Like I was with Cammy. I was like, dear God, do not fuck this up.
Right.
Yo.
It's the one time you're super empathetic.
Yes. Yeah, I think she's got like a few people that I think she's slowly, maybe, I don't know, I haven't figured this out, so it's not really spoiler. I think she's slowly kind of rebuilding connections in certain ways, but Cammy is very much one of those, the ones that were quick. When she found out, she was more in a practical headset of, okay, well, you're super stressed. This is not good, but I get that you're worried about Cass, so she just had to be the rock, and she's okay with that. Otherwise, whatever happened after the fact, she'd give her advice about whether or not people will listen. She's okay, but she just had to sit there and be that rock for a moment. And I think it was really good for her because she hasn't had. It was almost. We'll tease. Maybe it was it might have been, well, how do I word this? It's actually accurate. It was like having a sister again. For Moxie.
Fair enough.
That's awesome.
So she got to have that moment, and even though it was a bunch of chaos, she's like, okay. And yeah, and then she just kind of got to leave it and then try to go deal with other things. So it worked. I think it would have been a lot harder for her had it continued.
Okay. I can see that.
Because for her, she was really insistent that Cammy stay back, and Cammy refused. And Moxie knows what it's like to want to help and be helpless. So she didn't push it. That's why she didn't push it. But then when Cammy got injured and she's like, you were right. I mean, the first thought Moxie had was, fucking know him, right? You should have listened to me. She's not about to kick the girl when she's down. Like, she lost something so major.
Yeah. So
yeah. So that was her. That was very awkward for her. She's not quite sure what to say or what to do, but she just wanted to be, she was still recovering from a massive wound. She was recovering from this loss. She's trying to figure out what she has to tell Cass, if she ever tells Cass. Yeah. So Moxie was just like, okay, well, let's just be supportive and get her on her feet first.
Yeah.
And it was important. It's very important for her to make sure Cammy still feels like part of the team and has something to do.
Right.
Because I think that's what got her through that the most, was she's wounded, so she can't move with the team anymore. She's lost this opportunity. To try to exclude her more would feel more of a loss, and that's one thing Moxie didn't want. So when we were like, we could do the phone, Moxie was like, yeah, let's do the phone. How can we do this? How can we do this so that Cammy has something to help push her forward?
Right, to keep her going and everything.
No.
Awesome.
I don't know. I don't know if that's had the answer to your question, but that was her mindset at the time.
Right. That's more or less what I was looking for, man. So, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. And when Cass found out.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah, he didn't find out.
I'm so curious, and I guess it's good that Pluck's not here, because I don't know if he ever will.
I would say probably not, honestly. Just with the way the characters are, I don't think he will ever find out. And I don't think they would want him to, actually, honestly. I think he would take that very personally.
Yeah.
And that would mean basically he would declare a one-man Punisher war on Tiger Claw. He might be smart about it, but it depends on how much rage builds up.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and like, I feel like it's a hard place, because as Wraith considering you a friend, he feels like he should tell you, but it's gonna do nothing but hurt Cass if he finds out. So it's a weird place to be. Yeah, because I was present when she told that she was pregnant
To Kenner, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
to Kenner, I think. But I don't know the second
No.
part of that.
Because didn't Kenner found out because of his examination?
Right.
Hmm.
Oh wait,
I
no,
might
Rafe
not know.
might not know.
I thought I
was
did.
gonna say, I think it was just Moxie and Kenner who
I
knew.
didn't
Now
think I
Kenner
knew the
is
second
gone.
half of that. Yeah.
Unless Kenner told you,
Okay, so it's just you. You're good.
It's
you're
just-
fine
yeah.
then. You don't have any empathy.
No. Well, it's not even that it's an empathy thing. Moxie gave her word she wouldn't.
Yeah,
Right.
too.
And Moxie feels it should come from Cammy. It's
Yeah,
it's
if anybody
Cammy's
tells Cass, it'll be
information
Cammy.
to say.
So
Except she didn't trust Kenner to keep his mouth shut. So she was like, you should probably, so she kind of pushed Cammy to tell him sooner when she realized Kenner knew.
Right.
But now Kenner's run off. So
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Speaking though of Cammy saying things, what's you guys' favorite? Hey, thank you so much for
Aw.
gifting subs.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it very
Yay,
much.
Steady.
What's you guys' favorite moment of Blank having to talk to himself with multiple NPCs? Because it happens all the time, and classically, I've loved this whenever we were playing
It's
tabletop before
one
this.
of the best things. and Blank used to just hate it.
Oh yeah, he had a character. We were playing a Shadowrun game back in like the year 2004. And he had a character named Bitey who was a Sasquatch entertainer who would talk like this, or like it was like a Creole kind of thing, but it was like all like upper voice and like super hard on his throat. We used to ask Bitey all kinds of questions just to make him do it.
You're horrible. I love it.
Nice. Well, hopefully they keep killing it.
Oh, well, go Avs for sure now. I mean, jeez.
They're looking good for it anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of this hockey talk, I'm sure.
Slight hockey updates with your
Right.
you know,
With
your
one of your
business.
favorite role-playing groups, we'll
Yes.
talk hockey.
just updates, just small updates.
And really,
Um,
for the people who are watching this or listening to it on the podcast or watching it late,
Yeah, they're gonna not. Yeah.
historical look back on the Stanley Cup for
Well, even if
2022.
the Avs win today, they have one more game to win, and this won't get updated until
Right.
after they would have won, unless it's
Well, they will win.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're gonna-
I mean, of course, but
all right. And unless somebody else has another question
no, I'm
off the
trying to
top of
think
their
of
head.
a favorite moment.
Oh yeah, I
It might
forgot.
have been between Swag, Killjoy, and April at once. While Moxie.
oh
and
yeah.
Cass walked in. Not 2 NPCs, 3.
Right. Man, I don't trust any of those three, like whatsoever.
You know, what reminds me. The eye said something to Moxie at the very end. Player me was freaking out far too much to have paid attention. But did he say something about use those contacts you have?
Yeah.
I was wondering if he meant Killjoy.
Possibly. I think he thinks you know somebody who can get this taken care of. It's not me, so
I think the best question that has been unanswered, and I've been wondering this for a couple sessions now. What is on the BD that D gave you? Because
Yes, that
the
just got
Girls
left
Gone
behind.
Wild BD.
right,
We'll never know.
we won't know how.
Watch it was like
Can
the
we
meaning
go
of
on
life.
with life and not know the answer to this burning question?
Right.
Because what does a BD artist give
I'm sure
you?
when we wrap this up, whenever this campaign wraps up and we start another or whatever we end up doing, the last scene we'll see that BD sitting on the counter.
Right.
Cut
I mean,
back to it.
I just hope that it's not found by somebody and we get in trouble from Swag.
I mean,
You
I
didn't
just
appreciate
wonder.
my gift.
I just wonder, is it like the new version of a dick pic? I mean, That's kind of
Ooh.
where I'm at.
Check out my BD.
You know what I mean?
Check out my BT.
That seems like that would go real poorly.
Well, because
I
he
can
just
see it,
seems
but-
like the type of person that would probably send something like that.
I feel like tagging Blake. I know he's busy, so he's very much in and out, but I kind of want to ping him in the chat and be like, "Hey, Swags BD, futuristic dick pic." Is that
I mean,
That's the quote of the week for sure, right?
Trivia Tuesday? Is this?
Yes or no? It's a 50-50.
Yeah, you're
That-
gonna get it right or wrong.
I know, I like this. On Trivia Tuesday, what's on his BD? And the answer anybody can give is a yes, because we have no idea.
Right, we have no.
It's correct.
Possible.
Could be anything.
That is a good. Hey, blank. Can you
Hey.
give us a yes or no? We'll see.
Yeah,
There's
the
a delay.
people need to know.
We're just curious. Is it a futuristic dick pic?
Well, and like if it were, like think about like you would have to like put on the harness and everything to like check it and like, oh no.
What?
I don't know.
know.
Is he just typing in code? We'll never
We'll
know.
never find out.
Well, I'm just
So-
saying it's a plot hole. Okay,
Right.
That's all.
So both of his responses though were 3 letters. And both of
Oh.
them had punctuation. So we're getting to the bottom of this. Drats.
That doesn't answer the question.
Well, we have to find a specific book that it links to,
Right.
because it's obviously
The cipher's
puzzle.
here.
And right, cipher.
Oh wait, hang on. Save Sweetheart has no N in it. I'm gonna say it's a yes.
That makes sense. I'm in. Confirmed.
Nice.
Futuristic dick pic.
Confirmed.
So getting in trouble.
I know this is what he gets for letting us run.
Is
by.
this when we say something like, well, blank, all you have to do is say something and
Right? Just say something in your voice.
in your voice, and we'll know, God.
Dear Heavenly GM.
Are you there? It's me, Moxie. Listen.
Hades, what was your favorite character interaction with multi voices?
You know, it would probably help if I could remember a lot of them.
Fair enough.
I have a very poor memory on this stuff. I do okay remembering from last week sometimes,
Right.
but it's just I more remember interactions between the actual cast
Right.
versus, and I think that's how I really think that Blank wants that for one thing.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't really remember that, but I actually could remember the instance you are talking about from the past, because that's when I know he was like, stop making me do this. But yeah, I mean, I don't remember. I mean, some of my favorite things, like, I mean, the most memorable one that always sticks out in my mind still is just you and Killjoy, you yelling at them. Was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
I
The
mean,
showdown scene.
yeah, and I mean, of course, there was and that's the one that sticks out. It's not the most emotional. I do feel like Moxie and Cammy's was the more emotional one, but
Yeah, for sure.
but yours was like, yeah, you tell
Raised
them,
Z's? Are you kidding me?
yeah.
Yeah, early on. Man, have either of you ever gone back and watched like episode 0 and episode 1? Like when things were very different. We were a lot less, not like that we're like superstars or anything now, but we were a lot less polished back then.
Listen, Blank. You I was gonna say you need
Is our sound out?
apparently, according to him, it is.
I don't know when that happened.
Just now, I'm assuming. Oh no, I can hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're still good. He's just making stuff up to mess with us.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
his sound
Like
that's not
it's
working.
your sound that's not working. Ours is
Yeah.
fine. Sorry, what were you
Thank
saying
you,
about
Teddy.
episode 0 and 1?
Have you gone back and rewatched any of the older
So
episodes?
I have listened to episode 0 and 1
Yeah,
because I have a long car ride.
right, on the
But
podcast.
because I wasn't in them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was before Cass.
And so I listened to them so that I could be more familiar with it. But then I was like, I don't have to listen to the rest. I was in them.
There for that.
And then I just stopped. And I probably should
At some point, go
at
back
some
and
point
listen
go
to
back.
It's good if we ever, not that we are going to by any means, but if we ever have to take a hiatus because we're all doing something or something, it's good to go back and listen to a few episodes just to kind of get back to it. But like I would say our tone hasn't really changed. We've polished a lot better as players, I would say, but our tone hasn't changed a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
I
Now
feel
that-
like
What?
episode 0 though might have been more, like you say, the tone hasn't changed. I think from 0 to 1, I could be wrong because I haven't gone back and listened to it, shifted, if only because 0 we were still like, it's a one shot, who cares, no consequences,
Just screwing
and then
around.
we decided to continue with the game, and we were like, oh no, massive consequences, must take
Right.
this way more
Ooh.
seriously.
We made some choices.
Right.
We made some choices.
Like I know that the game coming up for 5e is just a one shot, but look at what happened the last time we ran a one shot. We were supposed to do a completely different game, and we're like, no, let's just stick with Cyberpunk. Now I have to worry about it. We're gonna be stuck in 5e for the rest of time.
Is 5e gonna be like that game within a game?
Right. Oh, like the
elf lines.
Yeah.
you could do it as an elf lines.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it would be
I'd have
very
to read
similar.
up more on elf lines, I think.
I did make a character, like, as
You made an
Moxie.
elf lines character? Nice.
Moxie made an elf lines character.
Oh,
Nice. You'll have to inform us on how elf lines works when we
I don't know because she doesn't know, because this is so outside of her realm of possibility. So it
you
works
just
really
made
well.
one to have one.
Yeah, I sort of. There was a couple reasons. but
Thank you
yeah.
very much. That's awesome.
Aw.
Well, I know we were all
I know we were
supposed to make
supposed to.
all
No.
the things we're supposed to do week to week.
That's
I am
what
a
I did.
terrible human being in that respect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
have-
did.
we have meetings from time to time, roughly once a month, as a group to discuss, like, hey, what do we need to get done before our upcoming sessions? We are always given, like, hey, guys, it would be really nice if you'd, like, maybe learn how your ability works. And then by the next session, I'm like, no, wait, what huh?
What's this do?
What dice?
It's bad. I mean, I actually can picture the exact face that you are making, Blank.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be on camera, to be fair.
That's all right. We'll make it work. Fix it in
You know
post.
what? We're all supposed to do that Valentine's thing that Cyberpunk released, the online dating.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We do need to do that still.
I already have somebody.
That's true. But we could do a speed dating episode, like where
Oh my
you
God,
have to go
speed
with us,
date.
like as our wingman. Because Moxie and Wraith are like, no, I'm going to get into a serious relationship since you're in a serious relationship, but you have to come with us. So you're like trying not to get into dates with people.
No,
would be-
no, I feel like Cass is there to chaperone because Wraith needs guidance and Moxie needs to not kill people. Like,
And
if
then
she meets
somehow-
the wrong person, he's like, no, okay, put the gun down, and Wraith, no, come back. Like, he's just the parent.
I'm trying to leave with like everybody.
Yes,
No,
very much
you can
so.
pick one. You can pick one.
Hey, have you heard of me? I'm Wraith.
You have an entourage living with you.
Yeah, speed date one shot.
That would
I'm sure it'll
be
happen.
hilarious.
I know us. Well, and I think that as much as we've been using one shots to kind of fill episodes where we need, like, because somebody has something going on or something, I think we're going to build them in the schedule a little more regularly, not like constantly by any means, but a little more regularly and more planned and built up and stuff like that. Not that this one isn't. I'm Hades. I'm not trying to talk crap or anything. I'm just, this is a response to something that is happening.
So mean to me.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. But yeah, so I don't know how we got here, but we're here now.
But yes, speed dating.
Yes,
I think it'd be
for sure.
hilarious.
And
Once again,
elf lines. That's how we got here.
And alpha, yeah. That'd be fun. Cammy would have fun teaching us all. Because I don't think Cass has ever played elf lines. I don't think Wraith has Cass or Wraith ever played elf lines online.
No way. I would say no.
I don't think he's ever played it sober.
I like that answer.
I'm not gonna put it past him. Like if he was sleeping on somebody's couch or something, they're like, "Hey, come play elf lines with me." He'd be like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then like 10 minutes in, he's like, "No, this is not happening." Then.
Dude.
What did I get
I'm a
myself
pro
into?
at this. Wait, what?
I do this all the time.
Right. These people aren't listening to me.
I say I'm Wraith and nobody reacts. I don't understand.
I was looking at D&D supplements when I was at the bookstore earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that I owned most of 3.5, so I know that they release a lot of books, but they have a crazy amount of books for 5e.
Yeah. I have about 75% of them right now.
That's insane.
I used to be on top of it.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch in your bookshelf back there.
Yeah.
I do.
We were discussing whether or not we had
like a small section.
Players' handbooks, because for some reason, even though I've never bought any at 5th edition, I've got the Dungeon Master's book and I've got the Dragon Queen book, but that's it.
Were you
one's
ever
a
going to
campaign.
play? Run it? Yeah.
I don't think so.
The Dragon Queen one is
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
That's true. 5e is everywhere.
For sure.
And yeah, I enjoy it a lot. I mean, my first experience as a DM or GM was running 5e, and actually that's how I met my wife. And it was just, it's a good experience. It's very streamlined, very well done.
I was in the game. I have a confession. I have been a tabletop player forever, and I did play quite a bit of 3rd edition, but I don't really play a lot of fantasy role-playing games. Most of them are future and dark style games. So I play like almost no 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, but I was actually part of that game where Hades met his wife. So
that is awesome.
White Wolf.
Right. White Wolf. Except for some of their moral decisions they've made recently. Yeah. White Wolf.
Yeah. I mean, other than that.
Yeah.
But back before they were.
Right. That
all the darkness
for a lot of
always get.
Yeah.
For all the darkness. Right?
All right. Did you guys have any other big questions? Burning questions? I have an important one, but I'm waiting.
That's awesome. No, see, I started, and like most people, I started super late, so I didn't start until 5e.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't play 4th or anything like that? I actually, the first one I played was AD&D. The second edition, technically.
Edition, yeah.
And with Blank. And he murdered my character in the first session, so there's that.
You and your tacos.
I almost murdered my players in like the first session, and I felt so bad. As DM, I felt so bad.
Sorry about it.
And then I did technically kill a player when they were not at the table, but that was because the other 5 did not consider their life importance. That was not really on me.
Right. A lot of things led to that moment. No, Blank, you're right. That is where you got your bloodlust. I had a character, Bale Groan, I believe is who it was, that he killed. He killed 3 times in one session. Because we had a river of, like, regen or whatever.
Oh my God.
A river that, like, if you were placed, your dead body was placed in the river, you'd come back to life. And as a spell effect, it's supposed to happen like once a year or whatever, but he was being super lenient about it. But I like walked straight into a trap and died. And then they like drug my body back to the river. And then I like got up and then like got cut in half by like a trap. Like I died 3 times in like an hour-long session with that character.
Ooh.
Well, and my first experience with tabletopping like this was with role playing was with Blank as the GM, but it was Vampire Dark Ages.
Okay.
Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I wasn't part of that one, but I lived with you guys at the time. I think.
I have you as a character name on my sheet.
Oh well, then I may have
Jonathan Dark.
Apparently, I played.
Oh yeah, that was Jonathan Dark. Was definitely one of mine.
Yep. So yeah, it was crazy, and it was a lot of fun. But he was in charge of, I believe, 8 people, maybe more.
We lived in this house, and it was. There were officially only 6 of us living in the house, but there were constantly people there. We had 8 weekly games going when we lived there.
Yep. Oh, it was crazy.
Including one, was it Cyberpunk or Shadowrun? It had to be Shadowrun because somebody was a gnome. But we had a group that was so large we had to break it into 2 parties, and I co-GM'd for Blank. He was running it initially, and then we had too many players, so we broke it into 2 groups, and then just we would take a break and communicate what the other group was doing to each other, and then come back and like keep running the groups separately. It got crazy in that house. So
I thought that would be really cool to do, is have like 2 factions trying to like going towards the same goal, but on 2 different sides. And then the final battles, they'd have to fight each other.
that would be really neat.
No,
actually.
that would be cool.
Yeah, I don't remember the plot of that one, but I do remember a lot of the ridiculous things that happened during that game for sure. All right.
The plot for
Cyberpunk.
Shadowrun?
On topic.
Oh yeah, we have to get back to being on topic. Yeah, I don't remember the plot for that Shadowrun. I remember the characters, but not what was happening. Okay, but back to this
yeah.
guy.
Oh, neither do I.
Cass, burning question.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Which Pokemon starter would Cass pick?
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Out of which?
I'm going to allow any generation. I was going to say the new ones that they've announced for Scarlet and
Yeah, well, I have no
Violet.
idea past the original 3. So
Well, then you can
yeah,
be for the
that's
original.
that's what I would have to do. Is Pokemon Red or Blue. I really haven't played it. But
Well, then do you get to count all 5 of the original starters then?
you mean with Pikachu and
And technically Eevee, because that's Gary's pick in yellow.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Mm,
So technically Eevee's a starter. Fight me, internet.
Whoa!
I would say the original 3 with maybe Pikachu.
Okay, so
I
the
would
original
agree with
4.
that. Yeah.
I'm cynical all the way, but I don't think Wraith would be. So
It's a starter, and let's go Eevee. Boom.
oh, it is. You're right. Yeah, for sure.
Bold
See,
move that cut.
it counts. It counts.
I would
Goes
say
against dodgeball. Thank you.
I know. It's a great movie. I would say probably for Cass, I think he would probably choose the fire. So he'd do Charmander.
You think Charmander?
Yeah.
I could see it. Because Charmander like needs protected because the whole like if the tail flame goes out, he dies kind of thing and all that. So I think he would be a good like dad to the Charmander. But then the Charmander grows into like a Charizard
Yeah,
and like
crazy.
yeah, I'm riding a dragon.
Yeah.
Bulbasaur all the way.
I know, because
We
your
know.
icon in
We
Discord has been Bulbasaur for 100 years. Blank says Bulbasaur, by the way. All right, Moxie, what would yours be?
Okay, so Jess is definitely a Charmander. That's always been my starter.
Huh.
Charmander. I love dragons. He's fire. He was a perfect combination for me. When I was a kid, it's always been.
He's not a
Charmander.
dragon type, though.
As I know, it's okay.
Yeah, I think Cammy is Squirtle.
Stupid onion turtle. Yeah, what Moxie would choose. Or like, Moxie honestly would not know what they were. Or would she? Is this based on the knowledge that she would know what they grow into and what they can do?
I will assume that they're naturally existing in the world, so you do have some concept
so
of
she
them.
does have some concept of them. If she met them like they did in the show, I'm pretty sure she'd choose Squirtle because the Squirtle gang was badass.
Oh yes,
with the sunglasses and everything.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
So
we're starting gang wars in chat. Yeah, no.
Life.
Team Squirtle for sure.
I think Moxie would be, but if it was just kind of knowledge based, either Pikachu for the practicality or Bulbasaur for like retrieval of information.
Oh yeah, I can see that for sure. I would like okay, so if I can pick any starter, I'd pick Tay-Pig because he's like a wrestling fire pig, and I think that's very Wraith because it's very like over the top.
Oh my god, yes! I can see him at a show with this wrestling pig.
Yeah, just like blowing fire. But assuming I have to use the original 4, yeah, I'm gonna go with Bulbasaur because I just feel like that's very Wraith to have something with like multiple tentacles coming out of the top, you know? Not in a weird way though.
When you get Blastoise though, he could do like water and like bubble effects behind the show.
And then light it from behind.
Yeah.
Ooh. But
really have more show.
But then Pikachu's already with the electricity.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, Pikachu I think is a better answer. I think you're right. Because I don't think he has enough long sight to wait long enough for it to become a Blastoise.
That is
very
true.
Pikachu from the start, like lightning bolt all the way.
Oh yeah, because you would definitely get shocked, just like Ash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I felt like that was an important question that people needed to know.
Just favorite Pokemon, but you're a character choose. I love it. Blank says Volt's tactical.
Is arguably his best move. I think that's true because it causes paralyzed. Not that I'm gonna. Now we're gonna start discussing Pokemon. No, we need to stay on topic.
I thought you said we were talking about Cyberpunk.
So, meanwhile, in board gaming.
Another skull. Nice.
Ooh.
Sounds like they're killing it. Anyway.
Right, questions.
Yeah, I suppose we should get back to doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Thank you, Teddy.
Thank you so much.
So sweet.
Thank you. Cyberpunk
Pokemon.
There we go. Don't they already have like Digimon? Isn't that like?
Oh yeah, we would technically.
Digital? Anyway.
I would have a Garurumon then.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I mean.
No.
No. All right. Well.
I had to think. I was like, ooh. Oh, Wraith. Yes, actual question for Wraith. What's Wraith going to do? Is he going to try to repair his relationship with Veronica? I loved that sassy comment of "Be careful, he'll cancel on you." I was like, "Oh, savage!"
The moment she posted that, I wanted to fix things and like just drop what I was supposed to be doing and like try to fix things with her. But I'm like, this is on mission. Like, I don't. If she doesn't show up to this very dangerous bar, that's probably better for her. So
yeah, that's legit.
Yeah. But like in Wraith's mind, like the fact that anyone is disappointed in him is the end of the world.
Ah.
Does he have that feeling with Moxie, or has he just accepted that she's almost always disappointed with him?
Here's the thing, he doesn't have empathy, but he definitely has this feeling that he needs to be everyone's best friend. I feel like I've exemplified that with literally everyone we've met. And so it makes him feel bad that Moxie doesn't like him, but he's convinced he'll win her over. So it's okay.
She likes him right now.
Yeah, he doesn't know that though.
Because it's all about.
Tea. She
I know.
saves every green tea for him.
I've noticed. Thank you.
It's because in
It's
his
like
mind.
positive reinforcement.
Right. Good job. Here's a green tea.
It's yeah.
It's because it's all in your head.
Right. Legitimately though, yeah, no, I think that I'm gonna make it up to her because I made him on the fly make up the character of my AA sponsor, so I need to keep her in there. She has a full name and everything. We can't just abandon her now.
Yeah.
Ooh, full name.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
remember her name?
Yeah, of course.
Veronica.
Cruz.
Oh.
I think that's probably right.
It is right. No, it is right. I'm impressed.
Well, after I gave Hades such crap over not remembering Cammy's name.
No, well, Cammy is an actual character.
Yeah, part of our
so-
team.
Yeah. But the problem is that name is similar to my wife's. So, like, I go there and then I can't get off of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I could see that being a problem.
I get that.
Are we worried about Vim and what Vim's been up to?
Yeah, I'm worried about Vim very much.
Vim has only been left alone for 2 days. I'm
Right.
pretty sure at this point Moxie has left, like she has food left out for him in case something goes wrong.
Yeah,
So
and you said that you
that's-
fed him the last we saw him, so
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She feeds him regularly, but I think at this point she's always leaving food out just in case. Because I thought about that when she was going to the safe house. I was like, "Ooh, do I stop off at home and feed Vim?" And I'm like, "Nah, she would have left food for Vim for at least a couple of days."
right.
I feel like tonight she has to go home to feed him.
At this point, like that's Vim's apartment though.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
really is. He's got a whole apartment.
which for his size, I mean, that's pretty big.
Yeah, that's a palatial
Which-
estate.
I don't know if I've mentioned this. Moxie's plan was to sell him. And everybody was like, we need to keep this chameleon and he's going to become our mascot and it's going to be great. And she's like, okay, fine. And then
As
nobody
long-
wanted to take care of him and nobody has bought his food. And I feel so much like the parent of the kids who want the animal and then don't take care of it. That is what Vim has become. So she's like,
100%.
this is my chameleon now. You guys can get him.
Look, we can sell Vim as long as we get a cyber tiger.
No, I'm attached
No.
to Vim and the van.
Vim is now Moxie's and she's not giving him
and
that.
it'll be Vim's van.
Vim's
Vim's van.
van. Yes.
Oh, that's a great name for it.
I know,
I'm
right?
gonna write that down because I'm gonna.
Thank
forget
you. I was gonna say, why
otherwise.
aren't we writing this down? But you always take such good notes, and I want to say thank you
Yeah.
to you
Oh
for that.
gosh, yes.
You save us every time.
Every time.
Because I'm always like, oh, what was that guy's name?
Yeah.
Richard Hollings.
Dick Richards.
And you're like, that is not his name at all.
Sometimes it's like, okay, how like I have to flip through like all the pages of notes to find it, but I need to
Remember-
make them nicer.
Back in episode 2, we met a bellboy.
Yep. Kind of like that counselor in that mayor's name, that
Right.
Newstat keeps pushing. It's like it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's a note.
I feel like you keep blank on his toes by taking actual notes. Because me and Wraith don't ever take notes.
Right, yeah, no, as players, both the Hades and games, neither of us have ever taken a note about anything.
Do that.
Well, and here's the thing, like, we're planning on rotating GMs, right? Hades will do a good job of sticking to whatever he's written. I am a little more freeform in my story. So if you write down notes, they're going to be for naught.
No, see,
The character will just live constantly in like a time flux where everything they're never sure where.
no, I make up a lot of stuff on the spot as a GM, but I also take after a little bit after blanks in some ways.
Yeah, because Blank like plans everything out.
To a point,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
you have bullet points.
yeah, but I don't believe Wraith actually does a whole lot of bullet points with his GMing.
I always
He has
have the
one.
beginning of the
Maybe
story,
two.
and the end of the story, and I let the players
Yes.
figure out
And then
how
that's-
the middle parts.
Yeah.
There
I
was
don't
a
know how you're
meme.
getting here, but you'll get there.
There was a meme I saw a while back that was like where the GM creates a puzzle and then just waits for the players to do something they think is interesting. He goes, "Yep, that was the answer to the
Oh,
puzzle."
I saw that
Oh, I
one.
saw
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, oh,
I've
that was
definitely
right.
done that.
That's
Yeah.
almost exactly how I do. Not to give away any secrets, but no, sometimes there are definitely answers. Anybody out there playing one of my games, don't just.
Come up with something clever, and it'll be right.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, that's usually in most of my stories. Because I have the rule of cool that, like, if what you did was awesome, yeah, why not? Let's figure it out. Well, and I got really obsessed with Supernatural because I watched all 15 seasons back to back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, yeah, hey. So we ran a Monster of the Week Supernatural game.
Nice.
And I let all kinds of nonsense. I let my child, who's a 7-year-old, join because he felt like playing that night. And so he decided that he was a gnome from Arcadia. And so I just let him make up whatever he wanted, and that became that week's story. Like, okay, apparently the King Oberon needs to talk to you, so you're traveling to Arcadia.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I figure I should probably ask another question. Hades, do you have any questions? I feel bad.
Do I have any questions?
Yeah.
I just keep telling terrible stories from the past.
Well, I mean, they're not terrible stories. They're funny. I mean, they might not have been at the time, but once time passes, they usually end up being pretty hilarious.
Tragedy plus time is humor.
Yeah, basically.
Aw, thanks.
Do you guys have any questions for us too? By the way, if you
Oh,
think
yeah.
of something or you want to know more information about the crap we're talking about, post them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are definitely part of this.
But also, I'll take a moment and say, Blank will be joining us in person after intermission.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows. I don't know if we said that at the beginning or not.
I think we said at some
We
point
did.
he was going to show up,
We
but
did? Okay.
I believe he's going to
Good.
show up and then immediately we're going to take
Yeah,
care of it.
we're just... Yeah.
But there's a good reason for all of it, I promise.
Once he answers the what's on the BD question.
Right? What's on the BD?
How are your characters' childhoods? That's a great question, Zelvin.
It's a very loaded question.
Hmm.
Who wants to field this one first?
Well, I mean, Cass's childhood was definitely, he grew up on, not architect, it's...
Oh, you lived in an arcology.
Thank you, arcology. And so very corporate, not high-end corporate, but that and you know, that's just, it was a pretty generic childhood. He ended up being pulled out to go to and got military training, so it wasn't all that fun once he was a teenager.
Right, but the childhood portion of things,
Yeah.
you seem fairly suburban as far as the future goes.
Right.
It's-
Right. Exactly.
Fair enough. Wraith grew up in like bombed out, like on the edge of the combat zone. And his family was like always super supportive. It was like a small community of people that were all like pretty cool, but we lived in a real bad place. And then the family went away and he had to figure out the rest on his own. So I would say his is a solid 3 out of 10 as far as childhoods go.
Moxie's childhood was in England, in a nomad pack, so it was full of violence and driving around. But for the most part, was happy she was with her family. It was like a constant road trip life with a little bit of danger. It just was life for her until she had a very traumatic moment. And then things were not so great. And there's a lot of turbulence that affects a lot of what she does. So
I like how we all like could answer it at first, and then we're like, and now I'm running into the parts that I can't really say unless.
My whole thing, I was like, what about her childhood can I say?
And we're only one follower away from
Nice.
75.
So close, and then you guys get to pick our race, right?
Yeah.
Race in the
Dun,
class.
Dun, dun. Yeah.
So if you want to see all of us as running out of race as humans,
No,
you can vote on that.
There's so
Tabaxi.
many
I said
races.
Tabaxi already.
Turtles.
Dude.
Right.
Turtles. We could be the Ninja Turtles, guys.
Guys,
We could all be rogue turtles.
I like this. I like where this is going. But it's up to you guys. One more follower, and then, hey man, humans aren't so bad. I happen to be one of them. But one more follower, and we will be there, and you guys will get to vote on. Right, or we could all be. What are they? The cubes, gelatinous cubes.
Gelatinous cubes.
Yeah, that's our race for all of our.
I've actually played a couple Tabaxi.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite that I ever made, it was for a one shot. So again, I did not, and it could be like silly and goofy and whatever, so it was fine. And so it was a Tabaxi wild magic sorcerer.
I bet that get real chaotic.
Nice.
Khajiit had spells if you have coin. Would not cast spells unless he was paid for it.
I like it.
Oh, that's even better.
Great.
For sure. Teddy asked what our favorite fail moment was.
Fail moment.
I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. When Moxie wrecked the taxi.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a fail moment, and I was like, what happened that was really bad? I'm like, oh, when she crumpled the taxi? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and
or scraped the side the first time.
against the box, yeah. Well, I was like, oh, it's got to be one of my communication fails. No, actually, it's probably when I shot you.
Oh my god!
Oh
yes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oops.
Oops.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Hades, you don't fail very often. I mean, you do, but not as frequent, not as big. Yeah.
I've done pretty well in combat, so it's not like I'm trying to think back on that.
Speaking of, your character's totally like One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Kinda.
That's legit.
It is very much the premise. No. That's how I've played Cyberpunk 2020, and solos, when you have
the right builds.
Well, it's taking a martial art. They become deadly. And
I didn't fail that one though. Just saying.
I mean, Blank's onto
that
something.
came to mind.
Blank
I critically hit that one.
Where you nailed Kenner in the face.
Yeah.
With Ray stepping in to intervene, or else Kenner would have died.
No, you pointed out too, like min damage, he was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was dead. For sure.
Yeah. Well,
I think the only time we've seen Cass fail. By the way, I would love for Cass and Moxie to go to like the fighting pit. I was very sad we didn't get to do that. But when Cass failed with Cammy empathy check to tell her she did good.
Oh,
and she was okay.
Yeah.
And she was just like there was.
I remember that. That was terrible. I was like,
yes, at the time.
That is not how Cass would be. But he failed.
Right.
And he was drunk.
So it works out.
Yeah.
True.
I would say most of our empathy fails.
Empathy? Nice.
Yeah, that's why you elbowed him, because you got bloodlust and were like, I'm gonna murder somebody.
I think it was just because he was chatting. I didn't realize I failed a roll before. I was like, no, she's just gonna clock him. I thought that was a decision decision I made. I didn't realize it was a failed roll.
Yes, it was the long result of a failed roll. Speaking of Kenner deciding to jump out the 3-story building
The 3-story
and land flat with this plane. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I don't even know if that was a fail, but it was a poor decision. Well, and Blake was saying that we have our empathy fails that he prefers, but I think most of the time when we failed empathy checks, it was to our benefit.
Oh, I can think of one. We both me and Cammy lost an empathy point because of the whole live cargo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. I was not very moved by the situation.
Moxie generally just good job. We do it.
That was actually one of my favorite scenes, though, was the point where Team Good Guy was having their we can't morally do this, and Team Bad Guy was like, how do we get them to morally do this?
Yeah, do we have to do this without them, or around them? This is going to be problematic. And then the guns, everybody pulling out guns because we weren't sure what was going to happen.
The situation was going to be, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting fight, too, because I would have killed everybody.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no. Wraith wouldn't have stood a chance, but I would have been there.
Moxie would have gone for Cammy and would have held her hostage.
That would have been the right move.
Yeah.
Tell you that straight up.
Yeah.
No, she's like, I cannot take Cass one-on-one, so I am going to take the one thing that will stop him from killing me.
You may have walked away from that, but I wouldn't.
You would have tried to talk him down.
Right, yeah.
That's the thing. I pulled the gun, but you would have tried to talk him down.
Yeah, you would have probably talked me down, though, to be fair. I wasn't that pissed off.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Zelvin says, do our characters have any strange hobbies like collecting objects? I feel like if we were as poor as we are, we would definitely have more hobbies.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think Moxie collects BDs at this point.
Well, you know what? If our characters hadn't changed as much, I remember Moxie being very interested in pickpocketing children and stealing toy cars.
Very true.
You can't again, session 0, where there was not supposed to be consequences. I was like, you know what? Because I thought about it, I was like, we should do this. I was like, it's a one shot. Let's go for it.
Right.
Not. And now it's the thing. She collects bubble gum from children.
I collect medical debt that's not mine.
She collects information, so BD's files, but that's not hobby.
Okay,
She might be
if your
getting
character
a
could
hobby.
afford to have a hobby, what would it be?
If my character could afford to have a hobby?
Yeah, like scrapbooking, maybe. I can just imagine Moxie
It's kind of up her alley because she does collect information already. So I mean,
right.
Scrapbooks of I took down New Set, and this is when I took down Justice Style and Jade, and this is when I took down scrapbooks.
But they're scrapbooks that look like murder boards. They've got the red stuff.
No, that's exactly what I'm picturing. In Moxie's actual apartment, there's just boards on wheels and that have strings to things.
They have for posters at department stores.
Fit one, she totally would.
Yeah.
We need that's going to be one of our goals now, obviously, to have a big enough area for us to be in that we can have a murder board and a van.
We need a head.
Oh my gosh,
that's what I've determined is Gojira.
I thought we were doing the van.
Right. Well, the vans can be the mobile headquarters. Yeah, but we have to have a office. As much as I want to keep the cyberpunk, keep the punk in it, where we're not corporate, I think eventually we're going to need a home base.
Do you know if you guys ever played GTA? It was I think 5, where you could get a clubhouse.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll store our van in there, and whatever fancy car Moxie will eventually get, and then we'll have the clubhouse, and that will be our hangout when we're not at Frank's.
I think this is a good plan.
You know what's a great building for that? An abandoned taxi.
Ooh, a taxi company. Yeah. Maybe in the bad part of town.
That would be a great idea.
It would have a couple of bays.
Yeah.
I think this is a good plan.
Yeah.
Uh, all right.
You laugh, but this is legit.
Well, I mean, I'm stealing it from the last
From
time
Blank,
we played
ready?
Cyberpunk.
He made one of the people who became an ally of ours. He had, because we were living in a old junkyard with some nomads.
Yeah.
And then we made friends with the mechanics that didn't own. He rented a taxi company from a guy.
Who? Yeah. It's
Long story,
a long
but
story.
it would be a great operation. What up?
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, Tim. You were brought up earlier, actually.
Yee.
Yes.
Tim is awesome. And when I get Moxie's opinion piece, we'll continue to do the comments of what people are saying.
Appreciate it
They're
very
great.
much.
They're so great.
Hades, what's Cass's hobby? If you could afford a hobby.
I'm gonna go with he would probably have a hobby of like collecting action figures.
Okay, I can see it.
I think so. Like if he had money to spend on or a place where he actually kept things.
Yeah, you
I
weren't
could
living in a
see
cube.
that being a thing, like GI Joe, old school vintage stuff.
Nice, that would be cool. I would say Wraith collects tennis shoes. He's a sneakerhead because of the old Jordans he had, and that was a big thing for him for a long time. But he obviously sold his prized piece, so
Yeah, that was your.
I guess that's still probably what it is, though. He'd probably collect shoes if he could afford to keep them.
But wouldn't he also think he could get them back at some point?
Cass has Funko Pops. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that makes total sense too.
But they're
Moxie
like the
collects
G.I. Joe
Cyberpunk.
Funko Pops.
Where's them?
No,
I
she
feel
just
like
has them for the next time we need them.
Oh,
So
this
like
is a
when Kenner
brilliant
needs
idea.
cyber legs, it's cheaper. And I
Fair
need an
enough,
arm,
legs.
it's cheaper. She just has like this. They're like, oh my god, are these people you've killed? She's like, no, they're just spare parts.
right, we'll need the spares. Like we
You know when
thought
people
this
pull
through.
out like gun racks of like what gun do you want? She's just got cyber legs.
well, I mean, unfortunately, Cass was totally down that road with Kenner. Like he was thinking, if Kenner stuck around in the group, one of the best ways to make money would be to literally rip cyberware out of
Oh, for sure.
the bodies that we
We're harvesting.
that we were have passed their they were dead.
Yeah. If somebody happened to get flatlined near us,
Yes, that we would
we'd recycle their parts.
give other people a chance at feeling good about themselves.
I like it.
All right. I think we are getting close to taking our break here in just a couple.
I'd like
Does
to
anybody
say,
have? Yeah, I was going to
I
ask.
think Moxie is going to take up how to play the guitar if I can find time and remember to do it during downtime.
Well, I can always use a guitarist.
Well, she has a guitar that is a confetti cannon, and she.
Oh
Really
yeah,
wants
you have
to
my
just
ex-band member's
use
guitar.
it. Yeah, I do. That's a confetti flashbang cannon.
Right, which is amazing. Are you
Yeah.
ever going to tell me that my
No.
band member was going to betray me?
Oh, yes, probably actually. That was, it's just not, it just hasn't come up.
We've been so busy.
We have, and then you see the Rico thing cut that because I thought that was the thread, but then we found the BD and the Jackal's Lantern because other stuff. It kind of got overshadowed.
Right, I know.
I feel like she did pass on this information though at some point.
Maybe. And we can work that out. I'm sure.
I didn't.
Confetti
Okay.
cannon, yes. So it's a specially engineered guitar that has a button that just shoots out confetti.
No, you have to play a power chord and then hit the whammy twice, and then from the neck of the guitar it shoots confetti in a flashbang. There's like
Yeah.
a
Oh my
flash and
gosh,
confetti.
that
Oh yeah,
is
Moxie's like,
absolutely.
I am taking this into battle with me. Are you kidding me?
This is
But she
my
needs a
axe.
reason as to
Bard,
why
go!
she has it. Yeah.
All right, so you're going to cross class as a rocker boy.
Nomad media rocket.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to cross class as a police officer just so that we can round out the group a little.
Actually, totally see Wraith as a police officer.
I don't
No,
know. I feel like you'd be
can't.
like a dirty vice
You
cop.
do a dirty vice cop.
Like,
That's
you
exactly.
got a lot of synth coke here, son. I'm going to go ahead and have to take that in. I'm letting you off with a warning, though.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
You know
see
who I
Wraith
am?
being
Wraith.
like an exec. Cross-classing to exec.
Or
But I want to stay away from the corporations. But yeah, no, I
You
could
don't.
see
You
him.
take them down from the inside. 'Cause
Ah,
you still
I
get
see
to wear
what-
your fancy suits, and then you'd you still get to talk to everybody, pretend they're their best friend, and take them down from the inside. Sell their
Right.
secrets through your songs.
with power.
Yeah.
he's way too out there for that, though.
Yeah, I
Like,
would
he
have to get like a
been
tech
secret.
startup company.
You would have had to have you'd have to wear like a Phantom of the Opera mask.
Something
and
to disguise
something
myself.
to disguise you so that they wouldn't know who you were.
Or one of the Jabberwocky.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Get one of anyway, I think that we are actually going to be taking our break now. We will be back in 10 minutes with you guys. And I believe when we come back that Blank will also be with us, and we'll know more on the other side of things. He'll have information for us. Like what's on the BD. All right, guys. We'll be right back. We love you. Please stick with us.
See you soon.
All right.